Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, Shonia Studio, for those of you who like to discuss criminal cases. We deliberately built this channel for you. Don't forget to support our channel by subscribing, liking, commenting and sharing to your social media. A young man named Shibli Sadiq Rhidoy, who is 18 years old, he was born in the city of Kattogram in the country of Bangladesh. Sadiq is known as a hard-working man. He is smart and also likes to help others. Sadiq was born into a very simple family, where his father named Safik, he works as a truck driver, while his mother named Nahid Akhtar, she is a housewife. Sadiq has a big dream of becoming a successful person, and since childhood he has worked on a farm, to collect school fees. Because of Sadiq's perseverance in working, the owner of the farm finally appointed Sadiq to be a manager there. Sadiq is very proud of himself, and he collects money for his college fees. At work Sadiq has many friends, but his friends are 5 and 6 years older than Sadiq. They work as ordinary workers and have to follow what Sadiq says. Because Sadiq is younger than them, and Sadiq is a very honest man in working, sometimes he has problems with his co-workers. Sadiq is known as a very disciplined man, and never breaks a promise. On August 28, 2023, Sadiq went to work in the morning like usual, but in the afternoon Sadiq did not come home, and also did not give news to his family. His family thought Sadiq had work that he could not leave, and did not come home that night. However, because it was unusual, finally at 11:30 p.m., his parents called him several times. Sadiq did not answer his parents' phone and his parents were getting worried, but they chose to wait for Sadiq, until the next day on August 29, his parents called Sadiq again. But until that day Sadiq still did not answer his phone. Sadiq's parents called the owner of the farm, but that day the owner's number was also inactive. Sadiq's parents finally took to the streets and went to the place where Sadiq worked. But there was not a single person there who saw Sadiq. In the afternoon on August 29, Sadiq's parents suddenly got a call from their son's number. After they picked him up, Sadiq panicked and said that he had been kidnapped by someone, and he had been in the car for 12 hours. Sadiq said that he had been beaten by several people, and at that time he was hiding to make a phone call. In the middle of Sadiq's conversation with his father, suddenly the kidnapper disconnected their phone line. And since then, Sadiq's parents don't know what happened. Sadiq's mother tried to call him again, but there was no answer, and the number was no longer active. When Sadiq's parents wanted to call the police for help, suddenly the cell phone rang and it was from his son's number. His mother answered the phone and it turned out that it was not her son's voice, but the voice of a man who claimed to be Sadiq's kidnapper. The man said that Sadiq was in his hands, and if he wanted Sadiq to come home, the man told him to prepare 1.5 million lakh or the equivalent of $12,240. Where and when to hand over the money the kidnapper will contact them again, but on the condition that there is no police involvement. Sadiq's family is a very simple family, even for daily needs they have to work hard, but for the safety of their only child, Sadiq's parents looked for loans in several places. For 3 days looking for loans, and Sadiq's parents could only collect 2,000 lakh. On August 31 in 2023, the kidnapper called Sadiq's parents again and there he said to hand over the money he asked for. Sadiq's father said that he could not collect that much money. And the kidnapper then decided to hand over 200,000 lakh. It is indeed unusual for kidnappers to lower the ransom from 1.5 million lakh to only 200,000, and it seems that the kidnapper already knows about the victim's family's finances. Sadiq's family still objects to 200,000 lakh. Because he doesn't have that much money, the kidnapper then said on the phone line, if he doesn't give the full money as he asked for then they will never see Sadiq again. Sadiq's father asked for 4 days to collect the money. And Sadiq's father also begged not to hurt his son. Sadiq's father asked for help from every shop in the area, and there were people who really wanted to help Sadiq's father. Finally in just 3 days, Sadiq's father managed to collect 200,000 lakh. On September 4 in the afternoon of 2023, Sadiq's father received a call from his son's kidnapper. And there the kidnapper said to go to a place and put the money there. Before the kidnapper hung up the phone, he said if there was involvement from the police, then Sadiq would be finished off. Sadiq's father did not want his son to get hurt, so he just listened to what the kidnapper said. After arriving at a place where they told Sadiq's father to come, there were two men wearing face masks, and there they told Sadiq's father to hand over the money they asked for. According to Sadiq's father, the two men did not talk much and he only asked for money and then told Sadiq's father to go home. Before leaving the place, one of them said that his son would arrive home before his father arrived home. Sadiq's father, after hearing that, he was very relieved and hoped that his son would be safe, and returned home. When he arrived home, Sadiq's father looked for his son but he did not find his son. Until the evening they had not received any news from his son, and that made them very worried. All Sadiq's family members gathered that night, and they thought that Sadiq would probably never come home. Seeing the situation, one of Sadiq's family members said to immediately go to the police station and report that Sadiq had disappeared. However, Sadiq's father said that he did not want to involve the police because the kidnapper said that if that happened they would hurt his son. After a few days of no news about Sadiq, on September 7, Sadiq's father called Sadiq's cell phone again, but the number was no longer active. Since August 28 until that day, Sadiq had been missing for 10 days. That afternoon, Sadiq's father came to the police station because he had not heard any news from his son. When the police heard the news of Sadiq's disappearance, they were very angry about why they didn't report it from the start. However, Sadiq's father explained his reasons. The police gathered a team to conduct a large-scale search in the surrounding area. And investigators also began to collect information about Sadiq's behavior and what he often did. During the investigation, investigators concluded that Sadiq was a kind man and he never had any problems or enemies outside. Sadiq's mother told investigators where her son had said that he had fought with some of his friends at work. Investigators immediately found out who had problems with Sadiq at his workplace. The police arrested 6 people from Sadiq's workplace and all of them were taken to the interrogation room for questioning. One by one, they all tried to state that they were not involved in Sadiq's disappearance. However, after they received pressure from the police, 4 of the 6 people said what they had done. The 4 men were Damung Singh Marma, Siuing Mung Marma, Aktumung Marma and Uchyatawai Marma. The 4 men did not want to say where Sadiq was, and after they were imprisoned and beaten by other prisoners, they finally said the names of 2 other men who were with them, and the 2 men were named Uching Toy Marma and Kasayong Kajari. Investigators asked the 6 perpetrators to reconstruct what they had done to Sadiq. They said that after Sadiq finished work, Sadiq walked home and in the middle of the journey they caught Sadiq to take revenge. They planned to ask for ransom from Sadiq's parents, but that day Sadiq accidentally saw the faces of 2 of their men. Because they were very afraid that Sadiq would report them to the police station, the 6 men finally attacked Sadiq using sharp weapons. They let Sadiq run out of red liquid there and finally Sadiq died on the spot. That day the police and Sadiq's family just found out that Sadiq was dead. Investigators are now handling the case no longer as a kidnapping, but as a murder case. Investigators asked the 6 perpetrators where they put the victim's body, but they said that after Sadiq was dead, they cut the victim's body into several parts, then threw it in a ravine. The police and the team searched the ravine referred to by the perpetrator, but there they only found a small part of the victim's body. According to investigators, the victim's face could not be recognized anymore. Even investigators did not know it was Sadiq's face or someone else's. When Sadiq's parents saw the body parts, they said that it was true that it was their son's body parts. The 6 men were finally charged with murder, and they were imprisoned in isolation to await the trial schedule. According to Mungching Marma, he was the one who first swung the weapon at the victim. Even to make him more satisfied, he ate part of the victim's body, Demung Singh Marma also invited his friends to enjoy it together. And after being satisfied the rest that they couldn't eat, they threw it into the ravine. From there they hoped that no one would be able to find the victim's body. After the news reached the media, residents could not hold back their anger and finally a massive protest occurred. On the street some of them took Demung Singh Marma from the prison cell and they handed it over to the masses on the street. Demung Singh Marma finally died on the street because of the mob's fury, and the police were afraid that it would happen to the other 5 men. The police rescued the 5 prisoners to a safer place. Until today the case has not received a trial schedule, and no one knows where the other 5 perpetrators are. That's all for today's case. Don't forget to leave a like and comment. If you don't mind, click the subscribe button to support our channel. I thank you to you subscribers. That's all. See you in the next case.